Welcome back, folks. This is Vengeance for another hero breakdown. Today we are going to look at Samal. He is available in the Aria of Darkness Summoning Portal for 14 days. I think we're somewhere like 12 days left on him. He looks pretty evil. He's got this cool little animation when you click him. He is part of Dark Force faction. Most faction members can deal high damage under certain conditions. Rewards for deploying 2, 3, and 4 faction members are increase all members' lifesteal by 10, 20, and 25%. So, yeah, I really like this guy. He looks really awesome, and we'll go over his ability here. It's called Brutal Hammering. Um, yeah, that's a pretty terrible sounding name. Charge speed is average. Where I have him, he's level 5 of 7. Deals 448 damage to target and places Violence on them for 5 turns. Violence is a new type of ability. At max strength, it's 100% of healing received is converted to extra damage. So basically, before we go any further, let me explain this real quick. He's going to hit a target. It's going to place a debuff on that target. And if that target gets healed anytime in 5 turns, instead of healing, it's going to be converted to damage. So while red doesn't have a healer, it now can effectively stop and kill someone receiving healing or the healer itself, which is what I would probably consider doing. If you have a healer you're going against, place Violence on them, get that healer off the board fast as possible, and allows your red team or whatever team you're using the opportunity to go through the fight without having to worry about enemy heals. It's a pretty awesome ability if you ask me. He is a strength hero, so hallelujah. Another person that can hold the whip or the sword of Naya. Um, and what I'm happy about is I don't necessarily have to deploy Thorison anymore in my mono team. I can now give it to Samal or to Wukong instead. I'm not a big fan of the fact that there are no heals in red, so Thorison stealing your teammates' attack and defense and HP is not very viable if you can't turn around and get those heals back, or you can't get the attack and defense back for your teammates. So I'm excited to drop him and put probably Samal in, and I think Samal will still, even holding the whip, should go off relatively quickly with that average speed, and having Wukong hold a Sword of Naya. So while he might have overload turn 1 for holding the whip, I would have to think in most instances he's still going to get his special by turn 2 or turn 3. So perfect opportunity to get that Violence on the enemy that you wish to not get a heal as fast as possible, and disrupting that team synergy very quickly in the game. That's a big key to being successful. Let's check out his artifacts real quick. Awaken 1, which I like this move. I'm really a big fan of a couple of his awakenings here. Samal's attacks against target with Violence are guaranteed to critically strike. So if you've got that whip and you've got that Sword of Naya, and you get him on turn 2 and you still got a diamond out there and some red matches to go, you can turn right around and smack that person you put healer or you put Violence on and guaranteed crit them. So big deal. I really like that awakening. Awaken 2, the standard stuff, attack defense max HP 10%. Awaken 3 increases Samal's critical damage by 60 whopping percent. So once you get 1 and 3, he is, he's doing some real big old damage to you. And we're probably talking about that healer is gone. Okay, that hero's gone by now. So at this point, you don't have violence on anybody, and they're dead. So Awaken 4, just like Awaken 2, attack, defense, and max HP by 10%. And Awaken 3, or Awaken 5, this one's pretty cool. I'm not sure that this is Awaken 5 material, but I've been wrong before, and it's not really, I'm not saying it's not good, but violence cast by self can no longer be dispelled. So violence is something that is dispellable usually. If you have Awaken 5 Samal, they cannot take violence away. So in a lot of cases, they're going to be sitting there holding their special with their healer, saying, "Come on, 5 turns. I need this violence to go away so I can use my heal." So that's a really, really, really cool and awesome ability there. Like I said, I sometimes Awaken 5s are just incredibly OP. Not saying that it's not on the same level as maybe an Idritha Awaken 5, but it's still really good. Overall, this character, in my eyes, for PvP, has to be rated pretty darn high, especially in the correct format and team. I think he is definitely very viable for your Dark Force team, and he is incredibly viable to the Mono Red team, giving you another strength character to hold one of those absolutely vital whips or swords of Naya. So, PvP, oh me, I guess I'm going to give him an A to an A plus for PvP. I don't think he's quite S material, but still, to the right team, he's a vital piece. So PvP A to A plus, and for PvE, he absolutely destroys some aspects of PvE. There's some campaign missions out there that are all healers. There's campaign missions out there that has just that one annoying healer in the back that you can't get Naya Stone damage on, yet they're still getting a lot of mana and being able to use their special and heal up everyone in campaign. No longer. Thank you, Samal. So now they're going to be using that move like they normally would, except it's going to be doing a boatload of damage to themselves. Huge deal. I think I am going to give him the same grade for PvE. A to A plus. He's viable all over the place though, because you might look at him and say, well, you can't use him in, say, Rune Shield because he doesn't do multiple hits. Well, I would still bring him along because you can shut down a healer, and that damage will carry over. If you are not running him in a mono red team because you don't have that, or you don't have a good Dark Force team, but you still want to use this hero, I would not run anything that has to do with mana per se, but I think if you have him at just the base character with no awakenings and you still want to be able to use him, giving him an attack weapon or maybe in a weapon that increases his critical chance. His critical chance is at base 0. Base 0, and their faction bonus is lifesteal. So probably going to say more along the attacks, like a Roaring Warhammer or something of that nature. Something to just shut down the enemy. I hope you guys liked the breakdown on Samal and his really cool animation here. Hope to see you guys next time. Give me a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. Give me some comments on what you're doing with Samal and how you're using him. And I hope to see you guys back for another video soon. Vengeance out.